Hey, good morning, everybody. Guess what? The injectors have arrived. They look pretty good, so I'm going to turn you around. I'm going to get to them I'm going to get to them this afternoon when I get the little tube of Permatex that is going to go and kind of like lightly go around the groove to hold the gasket, because when I turn the valve cover over to put it in place, it ends up falling out. So, anyways, but here we go. Look at these. They almost look brand new. So these are my redone, cleaned. They didn't have to do anything to them. They said they were okay. And so, yeah. So that's all I got to do now is just drop them in there, put everything back together after I do the valve cover on. It's easier to get that on before you put these injectors in. And maybe I'll be testing it tonight. I don't know. We'll see what time the Permatex comes, and so I can do the valve cover. But yay! Yes, and that was all right. Injector company incorporation in Orlando that did it. I talked to both Tim and John, Accurate Diesel. So that's in Orlando, Florida. Good people. Angie's the secretary there, and then I talked, like I said, I talked to Tim, and then I talked to John. So good people there. And they look really pretty good. Look like they're almost brand new. All right. Okay, so I kind of jumped forward in this video, not doing every step of inserting the injectors because I was very nervous about doing it. And I did have a hard time with injector number 1, getting the fuel inline into the little nipple into the place, and then trying to put the bolt and to bolt it in, because you've got to get them all in place before you actually tighten down the injectors, get them in place, move them around, wiggle them however you have to be, and then get those nuts threaded into there. So here we go. All right, so this right here, I'm gonna do the little banjo copper washers have to go, and then the new nuts are gonna go in there. That's the return line. I've already put the new nuts with the plates to help hold that in, flat edge up. Okay, injectors dropped right in, so that's a good sign. They tell me if they drop right in that's good. I had to hook up all these lines right here. Okay, the fuel intake right here. Okay, and hook them into the injectors. All right, and I got new, shiny new nuts to go over the post, threaded post. I went ahead and I hooked this up for right now to the intake hose. I'm going to get a new one. Just haven't got it yet. And then I went ahead and hooked this up. This is going to be the plate for the air filter, but I got to tighten up the bolts. I just wanted to make sure I could get to everything before I do that. And then, okay, I had to take this plate off here, this plate behind the where the antifreeze goes through, circulates through, and at the compartment below the pistons, okay, the coolant. So that kind of leaked out. I tried to find the gasket for this, so I hope I don't have a problem. I only took 2 bolts out, took this lifting cleat off, okay? This is just to lift the motor out. You got one in the back, you got one in the front. And so yeah, and then I've got to wire, put a little plastic tie to hold that so it doesn't fall onto the valve cover. And I went ahead and did the little gasket thing, put that little gasket maker from Permanex and put that in there and just kind of hold it in place while I turned it upside down or right way, and the gasket would stay in place. And I took a look all the way around and it looks like the gasket is in place, so I hope it is. Didn't look like it fell out anywhere. And then I went ahead and put these in with the new O-rings. Okay, they're new O-rings in these bolts here. So all we got to do now is hook up the return line with the copper washers and the new bolts that have the little holes in them, and for the return line fuel. And then I've got to hook this line to that. Actually, it goes to this right here. It goes on this nipple. So yeah. Whew. My goodness, it was very frustrating. And I'm not a gasket person, and I get gasket junk all over me, and you know, it just likes to just get all over me. But we've got that far. I don't know if I'm going to start it tonight when I get done. I'm not sure about that yet, because I'm pretty tired and I cleaned up a lot of stuff. I still have a few things to do here, and I'm really kind of nervous about starting it. So that'll come later on in this video, and maybe try it first thing tomorrow morning sometime. And I just wanted to get this thing done because I was afraid it was going to rain, and it did sprinkle, and yeah. So oh my God. Yeah. So let me go ahead and get this part a little bit done, and I'll show you the rest of it when we're done. All right, we'll be right back. Alrighty, everybody, I'm back. Okay, so I don't know if you can see me, but hey. Let me see here. Okay, so I'll tilt it down there once we really get going. So right now I'm going to be putting the next to the last step, and that is this return fuel line. And then I'll put the hose on the end of it. This goes over the injectors. I've already put the holder with the new nuts on here and tighten them down, because once I put these on, I can't tighten it down. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. Okay, so they have to have, I got new bolts for it, and new washers, and the washers go on each side of this banjo here. Okay, so it's a little tricky, and I had it kind of figured out yesterday. I did a little run with it to do it. So to line these up, so you got to put the other banjo on the bottom, and we're going to start with injector 1 and just start the bolt in there. and because I still have to have room to add those bolts. And you know, sure enough, if I bring these down here, they're going to end up in the bilge, because that's just the way it goes, you know. So hopefully not. All right, because I've already chased these things in the bilge already. So okay, so then we got to put that on there. All right, and then we got to do the other one here, the last one on 3. So, and then we put the last copper washer on the bottom, in between. So they have 2 copper washers, one on top and one on bottom. And these bolts are special because these have hole in them to return the fuel back to the tank on top of the injector. So what is not used goes back. Okay. Oh, these are bigger. So that one was a 11, what was this one, a 12 or 11? So this one was a 12, so it's probably a 14, I'm gonna say. It's a 14, 17, 16, that's a 15. I think it's a 15. All right, so now we're going to put this fuel line back on there. I almost want to cut it back. I might cut it back. I don't know. It doesn't look that bad. Oh, where is my... There we go. It was like giving me a hard time there. Okay. Okay. And now we got to put the fuel, not the fuel, the air intake and filter on here. It wants to catch on that thing for some reason. Okay. Gotta get the thing the right way here. There we go. Okay. All right, so there we go. Took about, I don't know, 5 tries, give or take a few, to start. But once she got started, she stays running, so she's still running, as you can hear. She seems to be picking up the fuel, but I'm going to let her run and warm up here, and then I'm going to put her in reverse to see if she will pick up the fuel. Seems to be responding now, picking up the fuel. So we keep our fingers crossed. And so, yeah. A lot of fuel. Everything coming after me, so. unfortunately, my motor started and then it wouldn't, it stopped about 5 minutes later. It just quit. It didn't sputter. It just slowly went, So, and it wouldn't start again. I was just trying to get to the mooring ball to save me some money instead of sitting in the slip. As long as I could have moved on my own power. The engine is not right. Wasn't right when I went out on the sea trial a couple days ago. After getting the injectors in and adjusting the valves, it still was acting, funny. So I came right back to the slip since I still had a few more days in the slip. And actually today was my time out on the slip. And now I can't move out. Can't go to the mooring ball. Which is fine because I have exhausted my expertise. I am at the limit of what I can do. And I've done all I can. And it didn't seem to help. So, the only thing I am going to do is tomorrow, if it doesn't rain, I will put on the brand new Raycor filter system. Okay, brand new one. I bought it in October, just never did it. Put it on. Didn't have time while I was on the hard, and so now I'm going to switch it because I cannot use the vacuum gauge that goes on top of the T-handle. So that will tell me, basically it just tells you if your filter's dirty, but it would also tell me, because I got a brand new filter in there, it would also probably tell me if I've got restriction in my lines. Upstream, downstream, I don't know, but I'm going to try it anyways. And I've got to put the new one in because it won't fit in the old T-handle. It will not fit in the old T-handle of my older Raycor. I have to put the new one in. So that's what I've got to do. So I got to drain the fuel all out of the Raycor, and then I also have to, put it all back together, see if I can use the same fittings, and if I can, I gotta order the fittings. And so, which I have time, I could probably do other projects on the boat, but for right now I want to do that and get that done because I have a mechanic coming. Mechanic is coming May 12th. Unless they get a cancellation, somebody cancels out and might bump me up to do that, but I've got to be in a slip for a mechanic. They will not come to a mooring. Okay, so I need to be in the slip. And these people here at Vero Beach City Marina have been awesome. The guys have been great to me, have treated me very well and with respect and helped me out as best they can. So I'm happy that I'm here. I'd rather be on my way to North Carolina or already be in North Carolina at this time. But it looks like it's going to be later. Okay. Alright, so this is May 2nd. And I'm working on the issue of why the engine died yesterday in the dock before I could move to the mooring ball. It's a little windy today. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and change the Raycor And then I'm going to hook up the lift pump, external lift pump, and then I'm going to see if it will prime it and start it. Or I might just hook up the lift pump and try it before I do take apart the thing and see if that makes a difference. So if it'll get fuel. I just feel it's starved for fuel. I'm going to go ahead and change the Raycor, and then I'm going to hook up the lift pump, external lift pump, and then I'm going to see if it will prime it and start it. Or I might just hook up the lift pump and try it before I do take apart the thing and see if that makes a difference. So if it'll get fuel. I just feel it's starved for fuel. If it gets the feeder, internal pump, the feeder pump, lift pump that is on the engine between the Raycor and the primary, or the primary, I mean the secondary, Raycor and the secondary. It sits there and it's on there, and I think it runs with the cam, runs it or something, but it goes in the crankshaft area, so crankcase. So yeah, so that might be my issue, because that really is what takes over pretty much and helps pull the fuel from my tanks, which are lower than the engine, so and the Raycor, and so there's no gravity flow. It actually has to pull that fuel. It's easier once it gets going, because that's where your prime is, but yeah, it may not be giving me enough fuel on demand. So it's the only other choice I can go right now. I really don't want to or wish to, and because I need to rule out everything before I hit that injector pump. Mac Boring is saying the same thing. You need to check other issues for sure before you pull that pump, because I don't believe it's the injector pump, but I could be wrong. I'm not an expert, and I'm never 100% right. Maybe 98%. No, I'm just kidding. But I just don't have any other options right now. I just don't have any other choice but to keep diagnosing until the mechanic comes on the 12th. So I have time to do a few things to see if it works. You know? Alrighty, here we go. Oh, let me show you. Before I go, I'm gonna show you. There's my lift pump, which is disconnected, and I have put in a splice. Whoop! There goes the wind is blowing. So that goes into. I have a splice in there, so it's bypassing the pump. I'm going to show you the connector. So there you go. So that's where that is, and that goes in those two. You know, one is the top for up here to feed the Raycor, which is the top one, and the bottom one is the flow in. So yeah, and then this is my Raycor, and I have a new one, but I think I might go ahead and hook that up. I don't know. I don't know which I want to do first. Once I'm in here, I really want to change this, because then I can put the pressure, the vacuum gauge on there, on top of this, a new T handle. And there's a slot when you put in the new one that will have a vacuum gauge, and it tells you how the pressure or the vacuum is in your fuel line. Okay, we'll be back.